Joining me now, Chad Wolf, former acting DHS secretary under President Trump, and Tom Homan, Fox News contributor, former acting director of ICE. Chad, let's start with you. What's the message to the 2,000 others? Apparently yet another caravan heading to the U.S.-Mexico border, given what just happened.
Well, the message is obvious, which is you can assault Border Patrol agents or National Guardsmen. You can storm a fence, get over a barrier, and you'll be released into the country, whether you're arrested or not. Obviously, the judge is sending them a signal that it's okay to do this. I think it's the wrong move. I think hopefully we'll see some cooler heads prevail. But again, this is about consequences and enforcement. And when this happens and the justice system doesn't actually enforce the law and impose those consequences, then you're exactly right. It sends a signal to other individuals that may do this in other parts of the border, other border sector and the like. And so I think it's a major concern, and it's something that if you're a Border Patrol agent, this is the last thing that you want to see.
This is just, I mean, I'm looking at this video we're playing. You know, illegals walking their way through Mexico, Tom. You've seen this so many times. It's a celebratory atmosphere at the caravan, you know, tonight and last week. But Tom, Americans are watching this thinking, has the world gone insane? You're arrested for stampeding a border crossing. These individuals are hurt in the process, and they're released. Great.
Look, I'm shocked. You know, the local magistrate, Humberto Acosta, what the hell is he thinking? I mean, I've been in law enforcement since 1983. I know when a judge makes a decision on detention or bond, several factors are taken into consideration. Three most important factors: seriousness of the crime, will he show up in court, will he abscond, and third, a danger to the public. These people met all three requirements. They attacked an armed officer. That makes them 1,000 times more dangerous than unarmed civilians. They're a public safety threat. Number two, the seriousness of the crime. They attacked officers that enter the country illegally, which is a crime. Attacking an officer is a serious crime. And as far as showing up in court, absconding, they're in the country illegally. They're not going to show up in court. Didn't we learn that in New York City of the illegal aliens beat on the cops there? Humberto Acosta is an embarrassment to judicial integrity. He ought to be stripped of his robe. I cannot believe that. When I saw the judgment, I read it 3 times to make sure I was reading it right. Who in the hell in the right mind would make that decision? I'm just shocked.
Yeah, meanwhile, nonviolent January 6 defendants, you know, well, who knows what will happen to them, but it's usually nothing good. In New Mexico, Chad, we learned that a middle school in close proximity to the border has had to go into lockdown, not once but twice, after finding illegals hiding among the students. Watch this.
Santa Teresa Middle School is one of many areas that these migrants jump into without, you know, thinking of where they're going through, because they're trying to evade arrest.
We're a little nervous because of the fear and nerves migrants have of being caught by immigration officials. We don't know if they do something to our students.
Tom, I mean, Chad, how common is this?
Well, unfortunately, it's becoming more and more common, certainly over the past 3 years. But what we're talking about here are the gotaways. These are the individuals that are trying to evade Border Patrol and law enforcement. And so they're going to do a variety of different things. And they're evading because either they're criminals in their home countries, or obviously they're here to do some very bad acts. And so they don't want to run into law enforcement. And so they're going to do anything and everything they can to evade, whether that's an elementary school, a middle school, or any other type of public facility. It does not matter to them. They have a different end and a different goal in mind. And when you see hundreds of thousands and millions of folks crossing this border every single year, as we have in the past 3, you're going to continue to see incidents like this.
Yeah, but really quickly, Tom, I mean, I don't even know why they're hiding at this point, right? They used to be in the shadows. Now they're just welcomed in anyway. I mean, they might as well just say, I'm here. Where's my free phone?
Well, I say, have fun with this. So I think me and Chad can both agree in January 2025, there's a new sheriff in town, and that border is going to be secured. And the millions released in the United States illegally, don't get too comfortable, because in January 25, we're going to enforce the law.
All right, that's a good way to end it. All right, I have hair standing up on my arm. Chad and Tom, thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.